Hey everybody, welcome to Beauty and the Beast podcast. I'm Kendra and my co-host Julian Marquez, who is 3 weeks out. He is set to fight, ready to go. But I don't know much about it, but I know like the last few weeks that you guys kind of get a little like your patience, your dieting, you're drained, you're kicking ass at the gym, so a little irritable today. And
I'm tired. You got to understand, it's not that it's just a fight camp. This is 10 months and I've been dieting and doing everything, and it's been a tough week. I don't know, just the new year, everybody wants to up their goals. Everybody wants to go harder. Everybody wants to go faster. Everybody wants to, change their whole entire mentality of what they did in 2021. So in order to keep up with the room, you have to push yourself. And it's just a tough week. And, it's a tough, long mental journey that I've been on. And again, we interviewed Brian Ortega. I was in the same situation, just mentally tired. I want to eat a cheeseburger. I want to be able to sleep in. I want to not have to wake up and go to practice at 7 a.m. I want to not have to weigh my food. It's one of those, we're ready.
Yeah, you just want to be like normal again, human.
Absolutely. That's what I feel like I'm not. I feel like everything's robotic. Everything you wake up, you have to do the same thing. Even though the practices are different, even though like the day brings a different weather, like it's just everything's the same thing. I eat at the same time. I walk at the same time. I breathe at the same time. It's like, let's switch some things up here.
Yeah, I wish I were there, actually. I mean, I don't know if you would allow people to film you, but I feel like after this win, we are going to get a videographer, and we need somebody to kind of like, get you in the gym and, after the fight, obviously not when you're ready, you're training for another fight, but I think it would be cool to kind of see what you're doing and a little behind the scenes with you. So I'd like to do that. I think that would be so cool. So
like a vlog behind the scenes.
That would be really cool. So what you're feeling is probably really similar to what McGregor and Poirier are feeling right now.
No, they probably have so much way better feeling right now because they're actually in fight week. They've already made weight, at this time, or they're making weight tonight. Like they're in the best part of the deal. Like their training's over. The fun's beginning.
Got it. So after, I got on here, I'm like, we're going to talk about this and this, and now I completely changed what I want to talk about, but that's okay. So are you penalized? Because I think I read something before that this one particular UFC fighter had made weight. She had a hard time making weight. And then I think it was within a 24-hour period, she gained like 20% of her weight back. Do you get penalized for that, or how? No.
You don't get penalized if you don't make the weight. Who is the fighter? You could say the fighter's not your back.
I don't want to say the fighter's name. It's just I was reading. I thought I read something saying that they were penalized because I don't know why, but
you probably got penalized because you didn't make weight. Like no, that's it. There's only one time you have to make weight. Only one time
for weigh-ins.
Yeah.
But
I watched Zach Cummings weigh 170 when he fought Benny Alloway, and then the next day he was 210 pounds walking into the cage. So there's no penalization on that. The only people that get penalized are people that don't make the allotted weight whenever they're supposed to make the weight.
And that's what I thought. So maybe it was something I misread or that was misprinted. I don't know. I thought I read something like that. But
it could be like too is a lot of these like headlines for MMA media or any media, they usually use something like catchy that really has no particular like meaning to what the article's about, but they use something to make you drawn in about it, if that makes sense.
Got it.
It could be you got caught in a shitty headline, because I've been in there.
I guess, right? Hey, me too, but whatever. I'm always people are always taking digs, but that's okay. I can take it. So I am kind of pissed off that I'm not going to be watching the fight at home. I'm going to be in Tampa. So I am hoping that I can find a place there to watch it, either at like a pub or a bar or whatever, but it's cool.
Why are you in Tampa?
I'm going there for production meeting for Signature Punch, because I did end up going with that deal I was telling you about. So I'll be interviewing the fighters on February 20th for Title Night Miami. So that's another story for another day. However, I'm pissed and I want to bet on this fight so bad, but it's so hard. I watched Ariel Helwani's interview. Him and DC were kind of going back and forth, and I thought it was really interesting. Something that DC had said about McGregor, and how when he stated that he was going to knock Poirier out in 60 seconds, that meant that he didn't respect him. What do you think about that? I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's a different fighter than he was before. I still think McGregor's going to win, but I don't think it's going to be a complete knockout in the first round. So
this is how I see it. All right. Look, you have Dustin Poirier, who's a phenomenal striker, and you see that he's, since that fight, the McGregor Poirier one, has increased in just durability, increased in fighter IQ, and increased it just all around, athlete. And you can see it. He moved up to a new weight class. He's more full. But this is the issue at hand, is that if you watch him when he fought Dan Hooker is a great striker, amazing striker. And Dustin Poirier, I obviously outstruck him, but he took a lot of damage in that fight. If you watch, he got hit a ton. And this is the thing, is Conor, that is his bread and butter. He's a striker. He's the most underrated athlete when it comes down to it. Everyone thinks, oh, this, that, and the other. Conor McGregor has a nasty left hand, and he has a dominant right hand, and he feeds you into it. The thing is you can take those punches maybe the first or second round, but going into the third round, that stuff's going to add up. And those clean shots, I don't think McGregor will, take him out in 60 seconds, but I do believe that he'll take him out in under 2.5 rounds. It actually, honestly, it could be, in the first, like he says, but there's a huge difference that people don't respect, and they don't understand his power. For instance, let's look at Donald Cerrone. He fought Donald Cerrone, and Donald Cerrone threw a head kick. Conor McGregor blocked it. Boom. Came back with that same exact head kick. But this is the thing. Watch Donald's reaction. When he hit Donald, it threw him over, and his toes hit his chin, and it ruined his whole night. Donald didn't realize the power that Conor had with that head kick. He would underestimate it. You can see it in his body language. You can see it in just the sheer movement of his body whenever he got hit with the kick. Even though a majority of it was blocked, it shook his body over. And that's the thing, is that Conor McGregor is fighting at 55, which is probably his natural weight class now. And he's going against Dustin Poirier, who moved up, whose chin might be a little bit stronger, but the amount of damage he takes is just, it's not there. So when it comes down to him saying that he doesn't respect him, it's not that he doesn't respect him. He just has sheer confidence in his hands and sheer confidence in his just ability. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can see your point. I mean, no matter who he fights, even, when he fought Khabib, he wasn't technically ready. He was not really training seriously. He's always confident. He's always good on the mic. He's a great talker, and he's been really, for the most part, incredible for the sport. So he claims that he's going to fight. I don't know how many fights left he has on his contract, but, they're already talking to him and asking, what's next? So I think most people have their money on McGregor. However, what an upset it would be, So I don't know, but I want to have some fun. I want to win some money. I like McGregor. Don't know Poirier that much, but learning a little bit more about him. So interesting. We will have to see. That's for sure. Another thing in the news I thought was, I read about it. I know it's a few days old, but the New York Mets, the general manager, what the hell happened? He aspired to have this position, and he had been with a few other organizations, had been well respected within Major League Baseball. He's in his position 1 month, and the power literally goes to his head, both heads, right?
Correct.
What do you think?
Correct.
Yeah. kind of sad, but you know, you cannot, I mean, I don't know if it's an abusive power. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that because for me, you know, it started off in the elevator. I heard the report, read the report, listened, and, you know, a little flirtatious. Now, there was a language barrier. So, okay, that plays into it a little bit. However, I felt like she kind of enticed him a little bit because she had even said, oh yeah, I like, you know, she liked the pictures. So if, you know, a girl's saying she likes the pictures, the guy's going to continue to send them. Where he really messed up was when he kept sending 60 and 70 messages to her with no response. It's like, what the hell? Like you at that point, you just look really stupid. So he clearly doesn't get the hint. And ultimately it cost him his job. Sad, but that's what it is.
That's the thing is like, you know, the news is different, and I'm not pointing fingers and saying he's right or he's wrong or she's right or she's wrong. Look, let's be honest. 62 unread, unanswered text messages. I don't want to say unread, unanswered text messages is absolutely absurd. I literally stopped texting someone literally maybe double text, but my rule is I don't double text. If you don't answer in 2 text messages and you don't answer for 3 weeks, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gone. You know, it is it. There's no reason. And that second text message that I hit you with, that was already after waiting an X period of time. And then I already come back with like a save to try to rekindle whatever it is. And if it is, then your number's deleted.
Yeah.
It's over just because like there's no reason to go back to it. And you may text me later and I'll say, who's this? And be like, oh, I apologize. Like I just I thought it was over. And I'll tell them honest, like you didn't respond to me, you know, 4 weeks ago. Why do I need your number?
Yeah.
He went 62 unread or unanswered messages. That is insane. That it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, the girl was saying that she didn't feel comfortable going and approaching anyone because of the fact that she like was in the same industry and she thought it was going to do something, this, that, and the other. But until she left the industry, then she realized like, I'm going to open my, you know, like this makes no sense. Like, why would you just go and do it? Like you're literally telling people, be afraid to have confrontation in your own industry and wait until you leave to go somewhere else and then bring the confrontation up. Like, don't nip it at the butt then. Let it drag on for years. Let it do whatever it needs to do and whatever built up animosity it has inside you. And then after a while, whenever you're clear and it doesn't affect your job, go there. It's affecting your job at the beginning. So it's just like, and these people probably had to see each other and work with each other many times. So like, there could be more to the story than we know, or this guy is really like, is really weird, you know, like, and he's that type of person that goes there. I don't know. But when you send 62 and no one's answering, no one's sending back a message, but what was their conversation when you saw each other in person? Was there something that alluded to it? Like, that's the thing.
I don't know. I think, okay, so I think when it started, you know, there was, you know, she was probably a little flirtatious, you know, and it went back and forth. And then, you know, maybe he just took it too far, too fast. And it made her uncomfortable. So she kind of probably just let it go, thinking he would go away. And then, you know, more text messages, and, you know, pictures. And it was so funny how they described it, and a bulge. Anyway, so, you know, he's sending these pictures. And she stated that she was trying to avoid having to see him because they were at, you know, the same events or what have you. So I get her reason, though, in a way. She didn't want to, I think she just wanted it to go away and she wanted to stop. And she was probably worried about maybe some being fired or some sort of retaliation because it happens all the time. People are afraid for, you know, and she's from another country. So maybe she didn't have a lot of support over here and she was afraid that she would lose her job. So when she decided to go into another industry, decided that, or maybe it was bothering her and that's why she got it out and felt ethically it was wrong and trying to protect, you know, somebody else from seeing the bulge of Jared Porter.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Like no one should ever see that. And I feel bad for her. I think it's terrible. I think it's horrible. And regardless of when she did it,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm still happy that she came forth and cleared her conscience, But to me, you have to understand the way I look at it is the reason why, like, it, I don't think anybody should ever be in this. If you're uncomfortable
Yep.
with any situation, fuck your job. Your job fires you. You just now made billions of dollars because you literally got fired for attacking someone for attacking you. It's like the Me Too movement. It's here. It's now. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's here. They're going back. They're digging up all these old little messages. Look at Kevin Hart from way back when saying one little deal and he got taken off the Oscars. And that was in 2012, 13. This is the same thing. This issue isn't recent. This issue was in the past, and she didn't speak up. Yes, she's uncomfortable, but it needs to be known that if something happens to you like this, be comfortable. Be that person. Get up, speak up, and forget about your job. A lot of people will side with you if you're uncomfortable, and then there's sexism or there's some disgusting man that's being creepy sending you these messages. And to think that this guy, Jared Potter, literally sent his dick photo
Yeah.
without listening to the Beauty and the Beast podcast to make it nice and make it look good. Like it's an insult. It's absolutely just disgusting. And this woman had to look at that nasty photo, which everyone's probably seen it now. And like no one in their right mind should ever be able to see that. Like I think that should be banned from the internet is all of his messages. And it's just that's disgusting. If I were a female, I would put that shit out immediately. Like, oh, you're this is your deal. Like, hey, look, he sent me 62 messages, 62 blue bubbles. Or is it green? Or is it blue? What color?
I don't know. It depends on the phone. I just know that's a little obsessive. Like what my thing, something had to be wrong. He had to be maybe not obsessed, but who does that? Like, was she the only one he's ever done it to? Probably not. But what was it about her? What was it about him? I don't get it. Like, obviously, he's not married, and we know why, because he's blowing this chick up that he barely even knows with his battered bulge. I'm sure it's pretty battered, like a snake in the grass, beat down by Amazon. But anyway, sad story for the guy. So I guess the moral of the story is keep your bulge in your pants and, don't share it, when you're in a position of power, unless it's, I don't know. Well, unless somebody really wants it.
I don't think you should send these type of things. Just like, unless even then, I never sent a naked photo.
I know.
Are you looking at your shit right now? Like, are you taking pictures and photos? But that's it. I've never sent one. I've never sent a nude photo because I know I'm going to be famous one day. And the last thing I want is any of that stuff leaking out, And then it's just like, but now it's more acceptable. Like I'm now considering doing OnlyFans, like if the price is right,
That's right.
I'm all in it, And this is the thing is I don't think you should send that unless you're in a relationship or that girl's like, hey, send it to me, this, that, and the other. Even then, like, it's still questionable because you never know what they're going to do. I always feel super weird when a girl asks me, like, to send me something.
Like, oh, what do you, yeah.
Well, no, it's just more like, it's like, what are you going to use this for? That's the first thing it goes, like, what are you using this for? Like, why are you asking me this? Like, I go into that mode. I'm like, I was like, how about let's hang out? Like, let's get the real thing. Like, I don't want a 3D picture that I can, look up on, and even then there's like 4K videos that look real, virtual reality videos that look real. Like, why do I want to send you this? Like, how about let's meet up in real person? I want that 4D, that actual touch and feel, that smell, that,
I agree, because pictures are, in all honesty, I feel like the real thing is so much better. Pictures are so deceiving. And in all honesty, and some guys are, the whole grower, not a shower. I mean, obviously you wouldn't send one unless it was ready, but not you personally, but guys, you want it to be ready. But I just feel like it's just not a pretty thing to send to somebody, like it's got to be like in motion or in action, not just like, blah, like here I am. I don't know. So Yeah,
Absolutely.
against you. So
I agree with you. It's so weird. Like, I knew a kid back in Vegas, and like a lot of the girls that I was friends with, they would always tell me like stuff about him. Like, and I've known him for a while, and I've always been cool with him. And then like one girl told me one thing, and I was like, nah, like I still talk to him and hung out with him. And another girl told me another thing, and I was like, and then it got like more and more, and like girls that I would talk to, like they would tell me their previous encountership with him. And I never realized, like, when I talked to him, he's like super dope, super cool,
you're a guy.
things like that. But come to find out,
Mhm.
like he would get these girls' numbers, like talk to him, and then send them like dick pics without them even like being in that like situation, being in that like that readiness that I want to receive this. It would just be sending them, and they said they would open their phone and just be like, "What the fuck?" Like they just do it, and then it would just ruin everything. It was just like your friendship was like, I don't ever want to talk to him. I was like, geez, but I never knew that about him
Wow.
because like I just didn't. That's never been sent to me, but also I never been around him when he's around girls.
My thing is, how do you, okay, was he well endowed? Because if he is, maybe he's really like, maybe if he's not the most attractive, he figures like, well, if I'm like to the floor, these chicks might like.
Okay, I mean, maybe I don't know. I didn't really ask him. I was like, "Hey, how big was it? Like, can you show me on your hand?
Girls, the
Can you
girls
hold
kind
your phone up and show me how much of the image took up the phone? Was it zoomed in? Like, was it? I didn't ask for details. I just when they said that to me, I'm like, all right, well. And in my mind, like, I don't know, like, what would give you the reason, like, yo, I'm gonna send this because I have a fat cock, like.
it was small then, because believe me, if it were big, you would have heard about it. You would have heard about it if it were nice, if it were big, if you were good looking. So he was average. He was just a creepy dude that maybe he got drunk. Sometimes when people drink or they smoke or whatever they do, I don't know. Maybe he was on like a medicine that made him woohoo. It's
Yeah,
true. People,
this is weird. Yeah, yeah. Regardless, if you're listening, if
yeah,
you we've had this conversation on here before, but if you text a girl and
yeah,
that or male, doesn't matter. If that person doesn't respond within 2 text messages, do not think it's okay to send any type of photo in any way, shape, or form, or continue texting. That
no,
person is what we call a lost cause. Maybe you can circle back in 3 weeks with some sweet little entry deal like, "Oh, I saw this cute little squirrel and it reminded me of you. Let me know if you turned into a squirrel or else I'll just assume the worst." Like that would be a great intro
that's
for that. And then they will respond back with a laughing deal. And then you can go back in. You can
yeah,
revise the cold number. But
yeah.
if it doesn't, let it go.
Let
Let
it
it be. That thing is in Antarctica where it should be, along with whatever the hell else is out there.
That's right. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for hanging out. Enjoy the fight this weekend and keep your bulge in your pants. See you guys soon.